What happens when the DM takes his frustration out on you? Let me describe the situation. Once upon a time, a friend of mine from college asked me if I was interested in a homebrew campaign he was getting together. We had played together a few times before, once with him as DM for a one-shot, and he had done a fantastic job, so I said yes. He asked me to invite other friends as well. I invited some friends, but the only one who was interested was a guy we'll call Arthur. Arthur was a couple years older than me, going to college after just finishing a contract in the army. He had never played D&D before, but said it sounded like fun and he wanted to give it a try. He was really well built and into fitness, as well as friendly, and knew how to have a good time. Arthur is the kind of guy who does everything 100%, so when he agreed to be a part of the campaign, he started reading through the PHP and watching videos to learn everything he could about being a good player. First session arrives. We meet at the DM's place, and everyone introduces themselves. The other players are a friend of the DM, Bob, and a friend of Bob's, Jen. DM obviously has eyes for Jen. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the whole reason he invited Bob. DM pays special attention to Jen and her pyromancer sorcerer character, while neglecting Arthur, who was completely new, playing a human fighter, of course. As the session goes on, DM introduces several NPCs that all say creepy things towards Jen, and she politely turns them down each time. Meanwhile, both in-game and out, she starts to flirt with Arthur. After a while, it's pretty obvious they are interested in each other, which causes DM to start targeting Arthur. He refuses to help whenever Arthur asks a question or anytime he attempts to do something cool. Enemies always seem to go after our fighter, as well as get random buffs, but the party works together and Arthur doesn't die. At one point, the DM flat out told Jen that there's no way her character would be interested in Arthur, because his charisma and intelligence were both really low. To this day, I still remember the way she looked over at Arthur and then told the DM, "Well, maybe my character just likes big, strong, dumb guys." That was the last straw. Next session was a dungeon crawl, and it was filled to the brim with traps and monsters. Of course, most of the attacks and traps required either an intelligence or charisma saving throw. He repeatedly tried to get Arthur's character charmed, I'm guessing so he could either make him attack Jen or have him do something inappropriate with one of the monsters while she watched. Finally, we find the dungeon boss, who is some kind of homebrew buffed succubus, with a few minions. Near the end of the fight, everyone is at their limit. Bob is making death saving throws. My cleric and Jen's sorcerers are both out of spell slots. Arthur has guidance, so he has made his wisdom saving throws so far, but is one or two hits away from going down. Arthur has the sentinel feat, so thus far the succubus has stayed out of his reach. After another failed charm attempt, the succubus moves right in front of Arthur. Naturally, Arthur moves to roll some dice for his attack, but DM stops him and says, "I only moved 29 feet, so I'm 6 feet away." Arthur gives him a look and asks, "Are you sure you want to do this?" DM pretends like he didn't say anything. It's my turn next, then Arthur's. I'm completely fed up with the DM's antics, so I announce that my cleric will be dashing to move within 5 feet behind the enemy to flank it. Arthur goes next, says he's going to attack, and starts rolling dice. He gets enough to hit, then the DM says that his attack misses because he's still 6 feet away. Arthur is visibly angry by this point, but calmly says, I take one step forward and make my second attack. He rolls again, and the second roll is a crit. He then action surges and makes 2 more attacks, both of them hitting. After adding up all the damage from various bonuses, the DM starts to get visibly teary-eyed, then says that everyone in 5 feet has to make a dexterity saving throw. I fail to save, and my character takes a huge amount of force damage, which not only knocks him out, but instantly kills him due to the massive damage rules. Arthur makes the save. He is out on the ground, but the fight is over, because I guess succubi randomly explode when they die. Jin's character immediately runs over and heals him with a potion. The DM told us that the session was over. I think there were some half-hearted goodbyes at that point, but everyone left pretty quickly, and we all knew none of us were coming back. Fortunately, Arthur decided to give D&D another chance. He and Jin found another group to join, and they still play together. The last I heard. I haven't spoken to my former friend the DM since then, so I have no idea what happened with him. But I hope he's grown up and is doing okay these days. I just never get these. Why does a DM think that being the DM makes them irresistible to their one-sided crush? It's just setting yourself up for failure at that point. Seriously, someone explain this phenomenon, because it seems so common. The fact that the DM used NPCs creepily also makes no sense. It sounds like a lot of poor choices and a bad case of irrationality to me. What do you all think about this situation?